Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Just kidding. But did you know that in 2022, 67% of fourth graders across the nation, across the United States, were below proficient in things like reading? And just this year, in my home state of Indiana, 59% of Indiana's students are below proficiency in language arts. That's now in 2024. So the question is, how do we raise readers, and why should we? So we've been doing a little study about the 10 habits of highly successful people, and last time we met, we discussed waking up early, which was number one. And I'm gonna link that right up here for you guys right now. Today, we are talking about reading. Highly successful people read a lot. Now for adults, for moms, 86% of people that made over $70,000 a year admitted that they read at least one, but most of them read more than one book a year. Now, what does that mean for our kids? Well, our kids are sponges and they emulate everything that we do. So if they see you come home from work, sit on the couch and scroll through TikTok, YouTube, the Instagram, they're gonna think that that's what they do too. Kids are already drawn to screens. The stimulation between the sounds, the colors, the games, the capabilities to be on there with their friends are all really exciting, and we find ourselves doing the same thing, so it's not really a surprise. But if your kids will see you picking up a book, they're more likely to pick up a book. And did you know that if your kid reads for 6 minutes a day, just an extra 6 minutes a day, their reading performance skills increase by 100% off of 6 minutes a day? Now, growing up, I consider myself extremely blessed. My mom had us in bed reading with her every single night, doing hidden picture magazines, all of the things. And all of this nurtured a love of reading in me from a very early age. The key to reading consistently is not so much about finding time as it is finding something you're going to enjoy spending the time reading. Only recently have I started reading books to help develop myself. Prior to that, if it didn't have kissing involved, I was not interested. Currently, books like this are more my speed, but I'm not gonna lie, if it came down to it and I was stranded on an island, I would be taking this series with me, or this one, immediately. Now, my husband was not a big reader, however, we love World of Warcraft, so these are his books and his Star Wars books, and he will go through those real quick. In fact, I like reading so much that I wrote a few books myself. So these are my daughter's books, and she has more eclectic taste. She's still trying to figure out what her favorite style of book is. And she's in between reading levels. So she's got a lot of chapter books that are newer, and then she still has a lot of kind of picture books like Mary McScary, Where the Sidewalk Ends. And these are really cool. These, you can use a flashlight to look for kind of hidden pictures in them. Caroline, what are you doing? You know I'm recording a vlog right now, encouraging people to raise readers, right? What are you doing?
I'm not watching anything.
What's your favorite book series right now?
Harry Potter.
Yeah? That's what we were reading together. How much do you like reading together?
I like it a lot more than me just reading.
What is it about reading together that you like so much?
The voice is soothing.
Aww. I hate to get too stat heavy, however, that was one of the other things I read while I was doing research, is that like 80% of kids enjoy the time that they spend with their parents when they are reading together. A lot of people I've talked to that don't read or don't read very often, it's because they don't like it. They haven't found an author or a genre that appeals to them. Well, here is one way that you can potentially change that. And yes, I am talking about comic books. Research is showing that reading comic books will actually encourage your brain to start liking reading in general. Plus, because of the pictures and the storylines, a lot of times it actually helps you to gain comprehension skills for when you are reading bigger novels. This is our local comic shop. It is my favorite. We are at 216 Main Street in Griffith. This is Creative Comics, and it is the best around. Creative Comics, they have a whole area just for kids. So everything in this little area I'm in is kid friendly, and he does have some books as well. There's a little bit of something for everybody. G.I. Joes, My Little Ponies, wrestling. Over here, there was some gem and holograms. Now, if you don't think you have the time to sit down and read a book, or maybe the bandwidth, it's just not something you're into right now, I highly recommend starting with a comic book. Sometimes when you show up to the comic book store, it happens to be a day they're celebrating the Ninja Turtles and you get pizza. I mean, you get reading, you get pizza. Well, why wouldn't you just live here? If what you're looking for is something more typically educational, you don't have to just go with Superman or the Ninja Turtles. There are other options like this. This is a graphic novel based on Pride and Prejudice. So, and you can kind of see on the back what the art style is, and this would be a great way to get your kids interested in classic literature until they're all of a sudden like, oh my gosh, Jane Austen is a mastermind, because she is. I love Jane Austen. Another way to encourage reading with your kids are through reading heavy games, like What Do You Meme Family Edition. You have to read the cards over and over and over again, but it's fun. It doesn't feel like work. Dottie. Oof. For the Dottie. So I encourage you to get creative, get determined to sit down for 30 minutes a day and get that reading in. If you can, do it when your kids are around. Let them see it. Maybe you do it as a family. Did you know that you are like 68% more likely to reduce your stress overall if you read for 30 minutes a day? What if we combine those two? What if we read for 30 minutes with our kids? They're enjoying it, you're de-stressing, you're having family bonding time. I mean, that's kind of what this whole motherhood thing is about, right? And since we're going over the 10 habits of highly successful people, and number 1 was that you are going to get up early, what if you got all the stuff done that you needed to when you got up early? You made your bed, you did the dishes, you started a load of laundry, you did some exercise, some self-care for yourself, and then when the evening came, your kids get out of school, or maybe you're like us and you homeschool, they wake up, you sit down and you read. You get all of the benefits of it, and it's not in the way of anything, it's not taking away from anything. Start with a comic book, start with a game, start with any kind of genre that you like. Even if you are almost 40 years old and you prefer young adult romances, it's totally fine. All right, that is it for today. I'm so excited to have you guys here. I hope to see you back on our next video when we go over tip number 3 out of 10 habits of highly successful people.